What's up, folks? Hope you're doing well. Today I want to discuss the situation with both OPT3 and OPT4. So one is on matic, one is on BSC. It launched recently, and there is something that one should understand as to how to play the game between the two. Now, I'm not sure if anyone has spoken about this yet. I'm sure it was hinted. I'm sure it was, given in hindsight, but still, people need to see a clear picture as to how and why there's such a discrepancy between the two prices and how you can play the game and move forward and actually bag in some profits with something that is, a simple equation that doesn't need too much to understand, but it needs implementation and some courage. So don't go anywhere. Alright, so before addressing the main topic of the video, which is, the game theory, between OPT3 and OPT4, I just want to talk about the latest announcements and updates that have happened inside the protocol. So 1.2 million worth of OPT3 were burned, and they sent transaction hashes to prove that. So if you go to the Telegram chat, scroll into the pinned messages, the first 200k were burned by Didi, and he mentioned it on his YouTube channel. The second one was promised of 1 million, and it happened. They sent the hash, so that is done. Now, the point is essentially to go deflationary, or as deflationary as possible, or making the inflation as low as possible. So occasional burns are gonna be happening. And two, they made the announcement of a DAO vote that is still ongoing. If people decide for Optimus to go into BTC mode in regards to halving every period of time, this is gonna be preset, and we're not sure how will it be in order, each X number of months, each X number of weeks. We'll see. But what this essentially means is that if this passes through, after, I don't know, let's say 3 months, the rewards that you would get per day, which is right now 1%, would be halved, and they would become 0.5%, so on and so forth. So the halving doesn't apply to the first percentage only, but it halves every percentage in regards to daily ROI after that. So from 1% to 0.5, then if that halves, that's 0.25% per day, so on and so forth. Again, this ties into the goal of becoming deflationary, and for perspective, they mentioned Bitcoin because, yeah, Bitcoin does have a halving cycle that happens roughly every 4 years, and if you check the halving trading view, so this is the most recent site I could pull, it shows what happens after each halving of the Bitcoin mining cycle. So right now we're getting 6.25 BTC per block. After the fourth halving, which is expected on the 17th of June 2024, we're gonna be getting 3.125 Bitcoin per block, and the trend is always the same. There's a pre-halving small uptrend, and then after this happens a very huge uptrend, a small correction, so on and so forth. You can see the rainbow chart right here. So if the trend keeps up, we're gonna follow suit in regards to Bitcoin's price action. So with that being said, the goal is for Optimus to actually follow suit on this and perform. I'm not comparing the two assets, by no means. I'm not comparing Optimus to Bitcoin whatsoever. I'm just comparing the idea of slowing down the emission of rewards versus whatever we have right now. So if this keeps up, so if demand keeps up or increases, obviously with less rewards being emitted, price action will go on an uptrend. Okay, so with that out of the way, with the idea of what could Optimus become into the future, and by the way, I really like the transparency so far. Now, one thing I mentioned previously, and I will keep mentioning, is that trading bots that are active, obviously everyone, has an idea of what their performance is. We still don't know for sure the profits that they are generating, but we know the allocation of the profits that are generated. So liquidity here, liquidity on OPT4, because liquidity on OPT4 was added from profits of the bots in Optimus 3. So we know where the money is going, but we just don't know how much money is being generated. And I have a small idea as to why that is. I think the team doesn't want to really show people in a full transparency type of situation how much money is actually being, printed by the bots in regards to profits overall. Because I don't think they want others to front run their bots and try to play the game with them. They just want their own bots to generate profits on their own terms. They want to show that there's money being added and there's money being made, but they don't want to show full transparency so people don't take advantage of that. Because there's a type of bot called max extractable value, and if they are applying this formula as well, this means that they are front running big buys and sells, or back running sells, in regards to taking advantage of a small pump or a small downtrend whenever this happens, and generating profits on that to again inject back into liquidity. And that is something really cool. So yeah, they don't want people to play with that, which is something I respect. But everything else is top notch. Now, I made a small spreadsheet in regards to both prices of the tokens, because this is where the game theory happens. So if you're not keeping up with the announcements, they did say that in about 3 weeks, but that was like 2-3 days ago, so let's say 18 days, a bridge between matic and BSC will be enabling people to trade OPT3 and OPT4 immediately between those two chains, because right now you cannot do that. So they're building that, and this will go live hopefully in 18 days. So what does this mean to you as an investor in either OPT3 or OPT4? And this is something that you should understand and realize, because when this goes live, something really interesting is about to happen. Alright, so what am I really talking about here? So first things first, I took the prices of both tokens. Now, if you look at the chart view, you can see how the performance happened in regards to announcements and everything else that happened since then. So this is where the first burn occurred, and when the second burn, you see the huge rally, then we had a correction. When the second burn happened, we had a huge rally almost to $1 in OPT3, and this also, and then a correction happened, and now we're trading sideways about at around $0.9. And this is also when OPT BSC rallied as well. You can clearly see it was trading around 1.2, and then boom, we jumped almost to $1.8, and now we corrected a bit. So though the price action was dictated by the announcements in regards to halving and reducing rewards and the burn and the upcoming bridge. So I said that in 18 days most likely the bridge will become live. So right now, both tokens are trading as follows. So I did take into account a $0.88 and a $1.52 price. Now, granted, it's a bit more right now, but again, that they're trading sideways. So any minute they could, go back down to these two levels. So not to complicate things, I decided to choose these two price points. So there's about, $0.32 difference in regards to halving the full margin. So the full margin is 0.64, and if you divide that by 2, OPT3 needs to increase by 32 cents, while OPT4 needs to decrease by 32 cents. So both tokens can be equally traded at $1.2 per token. So that's about a 36% appreciation / depreciation in price. Yeah, matters where you see it, so in OPT3 or in OPT4. So this is something that I found really interesting, and I think more people should understand if they do want to trade these two tokens to bag in some profits, because the margin is huge. Think about the bridge being live and people taking advantage of this in regards to arbitraging and making profits, buying on one chain and selling on another. So the obvious answer here is that you would be waiting for the bridge to go live in 18 days, and then you would buy the token for whatever price is on matic, because it's gonna be cheaper most probably, and then you would bridge it to BSC and sell it there. You take your profit, and if you still have a gap between the two, you would rinse and repeat until both prices coincide with each other. So that is the first clear option that one would take. Now, the second option, which I think is more profitable and safer, in my opinion, of course, this is just my opinion. This is not some sort of financial advice that I'm giving anyone. This is something that I am doing right now, and that's it. So a smaller, safer option, if you're not someone who wanna arbitrage, or if you're not someone who has a fast internet connection to just, you know, or a bot set up to buy and sell. A small, simple solution here is to buy the token right now for a 36% cut on its premium price on BSC. Sit idle for 18 days. Collect 1% per day, because keep in mind that Optimus grants you 1% per day just by holding the token, and this is compounded and added to your current holdings. So after 18 days, this is how much. So this is just an example. Imagine buying 100 OPT3 today. After 18 days, that would amount to roughly 120 tokens in OPT3, of course. And the total value at current price of 0.88 would be about $105.26. Now, after 18 days, bridge goes live, assuming that arbitrage goes as follow and price action remains static, so trading sideways at these two price points. And, you know, OPT rises to $1.2. That's how much the value of those 120 tokens you have today would be. So $143.54, and the profit that you would be making after 18 days. So assuming the price doesn't move a cent, 17 bucks, and if the price actually rises to 1.2, you intend to make $55.5 after 18 days, right? And spending $88 originally. So that is the profit margin that you would make. And that is what, about 70%, I think, a bit less. So that is you just buying the token today, sitting, not doing anything, and selling if you want to actually take your profits, or if you want to ROI. So the amount of money you would have is $143. You can ROI $88. That's your initial, and keep the rest and let it ride. So there are two ways to go about, or either you choose one or the other, or you can choose both. You can wait, arbitrage, or you can just buy the token, take your 1% and sell whenever the price appreciates, take your initial, or sell out completely with your profit. So this is just a small perspective that I just wanted to put out there. Again, by no means this is what people should be doing, but this is how I see this being approached in regards to game theory between these two tokens. Because again, not everyone is a trader and not everyone has the time to do so. So if you really want to take advantage of the situation right now and the discrepancy between the two prices, I think this is a good approach. Alright, that's it from me today. Thank you for sticking around and listening to everything I had to say. Now, I honestly hope that I brought you some value with this, or some extra insight. Now, two things I want to mention about the team and the project itself. So one is something I already said several times. I really like the approach, how they're dealing with things, that they are able to sustain good price action and a nice involvement with the community and whatever they're bringing to the table. So that is one. And two, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but everyone knows that the BSC chain is more popular than matic. There's more volume and more exposure. So again, I'm not sure if the team honestly launched Optimus on matic first to get their exposure on a chain that isn't so much exposed, you know, get people to know the project and have a high trading volume there, and then decided to migrate to a more popular chain. So think about this like this: you have a project that is set in stone and cemented on a less popular chain, and then going on a more popular chain would immediately make a high burst and more people flocking in because it's easier and cheaper to trade on BSC versus on matic. So I don't know if they did this on purpose, but that would be a genius move to move to BSC, and hence why logically price action is better on BSC right now for two reasons. One, because it's new, so you don't have as much OP tokens on BSC versus matic. It's been trading for a longer period of time. and 2 because it's easier to trade and people, you know, are already set up on BSC versus on Matic where they have to do the whole setup again. So this is pretty cool, and I hope that was on purpose. So kudos to the team if that happened. So with that being said, please consider subscribing and liking the videos if you do so. If you do like the content that is produced on the channel, not just for the sake of liking and subscribing. So if you like this type of content or whatever is put out here, yeah, consider that. And if you want to talk to me and to the community that I belong to and my community, I have links below to our Telegram channels. Just go there, chat with us, DeFi Ascension. We talk about a lot of things in the crypto and DeFi space, so, and we're a bunch of cool guys, so don't be shy. And as always, take care of your finances and trade responsibly. This was Roy with DeFi Ascension. Thanks for watching.